John Wick Chapter 2 is a continuation of the intense, action-packed saga of the legendary assassin John Wick, whose story is steeped in violence, revenge, and a deeply rooted code of honor in the underworld of assassins. The movie begins shortly after the events of the first film. John Wick, played by Keanu Reeves, a retired assassin, is still reeling from the loss of his wife and the vengeance he took upon those who wronged him. He retrieves his beloved car, a 1969 Ford Mustang, from a Russian mobster, Abram Tarasov, brother of Viggo Tarasov from the first film. Despite successfully retrieving his car, it is severely damaged in the process. John then visits Aurelio, a mechanic, to have the car repaired. In a bid to truly retire from his violent life, John seeks to close the chapter of his past and return to a quiet existence. Santino D'Antonio, an Italian crime lord, visits John and presents him with a marker, a blood oath that John had made to Santino in exchange for helping him accomplish the impossible task that allowed him to retire and live a peaceful life with his wife. Santino demands that John fulfill the marker by assassinating Santino's sister, Gianna D'Antonio, so that Santino can take her place at the High Table, a council of powerful crime lords. John initially refuses, insisting that he is retired, but Santino forcibly reminds him that a marker cannot be ignored. When John remains defiant, Santino retaliates by destroying John's home with a grenade launcher, leaving him with nothing but his dog and the clothes on his back. Left with no choice, John visits Winston, the owner of the Continental Hotel in New York, a sanctuary for assassins. Winston advises John that he must honor the marker to avoid the consequences of breaking the sacred rules of their world. Reluctantly, John travels to Rome to carry out the assassination. He infiltrates a massive celebration at which Gianna is present and confronts her in her private quarters. Gianna, realizing her fate is sealed, chooses to die on her own terms and slits her wrists in the bath. John, out of respect, finishes the job by shooting her in the head, ensuring she doesn't suffer. However, this act triggers a series of brutal confrontations. As John attempts to leave, he is ambushed by Gianna's bodyguard Cassian, and a fierce battle ensues, ending in a stalemate when they crash into the Continental Hotel in Rome, where they are forced to stop fighting due to the hotel's rules. Santino, eager to cover his tracks and eliminate any loose ends, betrays John by putting a $7 million bounty on his head. The contract is sent out to assassins worldwide, and John finds himself hunted by numerous assassins as he tries to return to New York. These encounters showcase John's incredible combat skills as he fights his way through waves of relentless killers. Back in New York, John seeks help from the Bowery King, a powerful figure in the city's underground network. The Bowery King provides John with a gun and information on Santino's whereabouts. Determined to end the betrayal, John infiltrates the museum where Santino is hiding and confronts him. After a fierce shootout, John finally corners Santino. Despite Santino's attempts to take refuge in the Continental Hotel, John violates the hotel's sacred rule by killing Santino in the Continental's lounge, shocking the other patrons and the staff. As a consequence of his actions, John is summoned to meet with Winston. Winston informs John that he is now excommunicado, meaning he has been stripped of all access to the underworld's resources and protection, and the bounty on his head has been doubled. However, Winston gives John a 1-hour head start before the contract becomes active, out of respect for their friendship. The film ends with John and his dog running through the streets of New York, aware that he is now a marked man, hunted by every assassin in the world. John Wick, Chapter 2 delves deeper into the world of assassins, exploring the rules and codes that govern their society, and setting the stage for an epic battle for survival as John Wick faces the consequences of his actions. The film is a relentless roller coaster of violence, loyalty, and the pursuit of vengeance, with John Wick at the center, fighting against a world that refuses to let him go.